Hello and welcome to my Panzer Corps Let's Play. I want to show you the Wehrmacht campaign and we will play on Rommel difficulty. To make it a little bit more challenging, we won't reload and we will play semi-blind. This means we won't use any information we don't actually know or have already scouted. So I obviously know the game quite good and know what's going to happen on most of the maps, but we will play as if we didn't know that. So let's start a new game, choose the Wehrmacht campaign and choose Rommel difficulty. I like this one best. I didn't play it on Rommel. I only played on Field Marshal, and this activated these additional difficulties. So I want to try Rommel, and the thing is, you get only half the prestige points you normally get, so you can't afford all the fancy equipment, and you will go with a more balanced and mixed force, which sounds more realistic and quite fun. So we'll do this. Field Marshal is interesting too. Your units only get half the experience, but you get full prestige. On the other hand, Guderian sounds rather ridiculous. You have 5 less turns to achieve your objectives, which maybe can be done, but definitely not semi-blind, because you have to plan ahead, considering all the information, like where the enemy is, even if you don't know where it is. So you have to basically, mark all the enemy positions on a sheet and play like this, and I don't know, I don't like this idea. The other option is Manstein, where the enemy units are 5 strength points stronger. Well, this could be fun too, but we will go for Rommel. So we will just start the game and, see you in Poland.
Greetings, Herr General. As you are now well aware, High Command has ordered the initiation of hostilities against Poland. Operation Fall Weiß must proceed at full pace, as we suspect that the British and the French will eventually come to aid of the Poles. To that effect, you have been given the task of securing the heart of the Polish nation. Take the capital, Warsaw, and the nearby cities of Lodz and Krakow. Achieving your goals quickly may allow you the opportunity to participate in additional operations. Failure, however, is not an option. Good luck, Herr General. I and all of Germany await word of your success.
Okay, welcome to Fall Weiß. We have 17 turns to complete our objectives. Actually, to win a decisive victory, we have to be 15 turns quicker, so we have to complete the mission on turn 13. We have great weather, which is actually quite important because we can use our Air Force. We couldn't do this if it was raining. I will explain a lot of basic principles of this game during our first campaign here in Poland. So if you already know the game, please don't get bored, and hopefully you will learn one thing or two. So we'll jump into the game and look at the strategic overview. Around here we have what was historically Army Group South. It was led by von Rundstedt and had like I think 3 armies. We don't really have that many troops, but I think it will be enough. Moreover, there should be an army group north, but well, spoiler alert, they won't come. We are on our own. Here are our main objectives. It's Krakow, Lodz and Warsaw, and the other objectives are optional, but since we are playing on Rommel difficulty, we will need all the prestige we can get, so we will try to capture all objectives. Moreover, I want to show you some blitzkrieg strategies. Blitzkrieg is all about mobility and applying overwhelming forces to a single point. So I hope I can implement this, and well, let's get started. I like to keep this information tab. It shows informations about the units. There are the costs, the movement range, spotting range, fire range. Firing range of 0 means it's close combat. 1, for example, means you can shoot around here, but it's an artillery strike and the enemy can't shoot back. We have initiative, which represents, well, technological advantage, like better equipment or better training. So the units can shoot further away, and the unit with the higher initiative shoots first, and damaged or destroyed units don't shoot back. So of course this is a major advantage and one of the more important values in the game. We have soft attack for attack on, well, non-armored targets, and hard attack for the attack on, well, armored targets. You see, infantry is not that well equipped to deal with tanks. We have air attack, naval attack, ground defense. Well, obviously you have the attack value and the defense value. That does not mean that this is the attack on the defense. This is instead, this always is the defense value and this always is the attack value. It doesn't matter if you are on the attack or on the defense. You have air defense, close defense. This is actually very important. There are basically 2 terrain types, like normal here. It's flat terrain. It's well, you can see it here. It's clear, and there are hills and forests and cities. In this rough terrain, the ground defense gets replaced by the close defense. So this is especially bad for tanks because they normally have a high ground defense because of the armor. Well, it doesn't work when, let's say, you're fighting in a city, and the battles tend to be a little bit bloodier if you're fighting in cities or in forests, because the units can't defend that well. Well, so let's get started. First, we will attack this city down here. Here's another thing. There are rivers. Most important, they block your movement. But there's another feature. If you go in the river, you will see the estimated outcome of the fight here. We would lose 6 units and the enemy would only lose 3. That's because we are standing on a river tile, which reduces our attack and defense. When we go here, the odds are much better. But we can still improve this by bringing more of our units into the fight. Now we have what's called mass attack. Each unit that is able to attack on this turn reduces the initiative of the defending player. So now, well, the odds are better still. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, that was much better than expected. Obviously, there's a random factor. So the estimates of the fight, yeah, they give you a direction, but it can go completely the other way around. So this was, well, perfect attack. Next target is here. We will move in with our infantry. We could use our fighters, but we won't, because there's another thing. It's called entrenchment. You can see it here. You see that the Polish infantry has an entrenchment level of 2. So if we attack with our fighters, it would be reduced to 1. And the follow-up attack with our infantry would reduce it to 0. If a unit has no entrenchment left, it can withdraw. So a possible outcome would be that this unit moves here or here, and we cannot attack with our 2nd infantry. And moreover, the entrenchment, I think it decreases the initiative of the defending player, but I'm not entirely sure. So it's a good thing to reduce the entrenchment, but, well, you have to watch out that units don't retreat when you don't want them to retreat. Okay, pretty much as expected. Now we can use our fighter to reduce the entrenchment and hopefully take the city. Seems to be our lucky day. We will move forward. And now one of the most important aspects of the game, it's vision. If we look at this Polish infantry, it has, like you can see here, a spotting range of 2. So it can see this tank, but it cannot see our fighter in the background. The fighter will defend units around here, and the tank is a very tempting target for the Polish Air Force. So most likely they will try to bomb it and get shot down by our defending fighter. Well, we'll bring our artillery into position and look at this cavalry. Well, this is actually not that easy to destroy because it's in a forest. But we really have to get rid of it. Like you can see here, it has a spotting range of 3, so it basically sees all around here, and we want to try to keep the enemy in the dark. So we have to get rid of their spotting or their spotting units as soon as possible. First, we will use our bomber. And down. Encircle the unit. And hope for the best. Okay. Yeah. Well, a little bit better than predicted, but we will have enough battles where, well, it will go much worse than predicted, so don't worry. If you have a lucky turn, a bad turn will follow, that's for sure. So what's left to do? Move up here and buy some units. I personally prefer the towed artillery because you can upgrade it later on to a more powerful version, whereas the Sturmpanzer basically remains the same for most of the game. So it has some advantages because you can move up more quickly, but it has less ammunition. So, well, maybe you could use it more often because you are faster, but then you have to supply and reload. So I think overall the normal artillery is a better option. We will purchase 2 of them, and now we are pretty much finished. Since we are on Rommel difficulty, we don't have enough prestige to buy more units. Normally you could buy 2 more. We have 2 core slots available. Core units are those marked by the golden circle. You keep them during the entire campaign. The silver ones are only for this campaign, for this map. So let's check. We have done everything and we wait for the Polish turn. Okay, well, as you can see here, this is a Panzer I. It was originally designed as a training tank, so, well, it doesn't perform too well. Yeah, it's rather useless. You can only use it for mob up, but, well, we have to keep it because we don't have the money to upgrade. So first things first, we will try to destroy this Polish infantry, which is not that easy. Okay, we got lucky again. So this tank is pretty much out of action, but more important, our infantry units are still intact. So next thing, we deal with their air force. Okay. Now we will try to trap their bombers or fighters. they are going to retreat and try to reinforce. As you see here, the next airfield is up there. So we'll put our fighters in the way, out of spotting range of the city, and hopefully they are able to ambush one of those. Our next objective is Krakow. We will bring up all our forces. We have to protect our artillery. Normally you shouldn't place a tank in the hills, but it's protected by this artillery. There's another thing called defensive fire. So if one of those units gets attacked, the artillery will shoot first, and only the not suppressed units can attack. So most likely they will stay where they are. Now we'll take this city and try to bring our units where they are needed. So again, we'll try to concentrate all our fire on one target. Okay, I think that's it. Yep. Well, that worked out perfectly.